Let's talk about sampling. Why do we sample? Well, we sample because we are either unable or unwilling to take the whole. So think of, for example, a national census where we're coming in and we're counting everybody in the country and asking information, asking specific questions of them to get a profile of what the country is at that moment. But most times we don't have the resources to come in and ask questions of everybody in a particular population. And for that reason, we now take a small part of that population and we get information from that small part with the goal of making inferences back to the bigger population. So it becomes very important then to make sure that the way we fetch that small sample from the bigger population is in a manner that will allow us to be able to make that inference back to the population. The key to doing that is randomness. That means that we must select our population, our sample in a way that is random. Because if it's not random, then we can't generalize back to the bigger population. Chi-squares allows you to select a sample from a bigger population in a way that is random. On the Chi-squares platform, there are three ways of implementing a probability-based sample or a random sample. You have a simple random sample, which is people are just selected at random and everybody's probability of selection is the same. That is what a simple random sample is. Chi-squares also implements what we call systematic sampling. Systematic sampling is similar to simple random sample in that it's at random and the probability of selection is the same. However, with systematic sampling, we first of all sort the sample, the population, by a particular variable, and then we select people at fixed intervals along the sorted list so that we are getting a flavor of the entire population from the smallest to the biggest, or however we sorted the population by. And then the third way of sampling on chi-squares is what we call PPS, sampling with probability proportional to size. This is a very special form of sampling in which we are trying to sample clusters such that the bigger clusters have a higher probability of being selected than the smaller ones. So regardless of the type of sampling you wish to implement, the Chi-squares platform has capabilities to support you in that regard. Now, on the other hand, if you wanted to do a national sample, let's say you're in the US and you want to draw a national sample of the whole country, or you want to draw a sample of a state. Let's say you are in Massachusetts and you want to draw a sample from the state. Chi-squares also allows you to do that. You simply go to the country you want to select, you want to sample from, you indicate the number of people you want to sample. So for example, I go to the United States, I say I want to sample 3,000 people in my study. The platform will automatically draw that sample for you. It will select the counties that you need to go to and to tell you, okay, in this county you need to select 300 people, and in that county you need to select that number of people. That way you have the certainty that your sample, if implemented as indicated, is representative of the country or the state of choice. So in this way, the Chi-squares platform empowers you to make sure that you implement sampling in a way that is at random so that you can make inferences from your sample back to the target population.